What's up, guys? KC Santana with Rich Soil Podcast. We're off to another start with some amazing women in our cannabis space. So we actually have a diverse audience. So we thank you guys for tuning in to Rich Soil Podcast. We appreciate the shares. Please make sure you guys comment on any of our videos. Today we are off to episode 30 with the highly connected app Girls, also known as THC Girls. Tell us a little bit about you guys. Welcome, Krysta and SANJA. Is that correct?
Yes.
I may be adding an accent because of my own background, but correct me if I'm wrong because it happens to my name. But welcome, ladies. I appreciate you guys coming on today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. Me and Sanja have been in the space, going on about 15 years in the commercial side. So it's been a long journey. And the THC Girls is my brand, the highly connected app. And I've been working alongside Sanja for the last about almost a decade. And across the nation, we work on projects inside and outside of the country, everything from operations to marketing and branding, which is our passion, and then doing events and staffing and promotions that all go hand in hand. So
yes,
yeah,
love that you touched on that. There's a couple questions because it's always hard, in my opinion, to find partners in the industry. You said you guys been working for a decade. Did you guys know each other previously? Were you guys like homies in the back in the day, just smoking weed and like sat there and was like, you know what, we're gonna do this? And a lot of us come from where we've always smoked weed. It wasn't necessarily an industry at the time. It was more of a community and people we hung around with, at least for me. Is that the same for you guys out in Miami?
Shoot. Well, we met in Denver, Colorado.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were just babies, fresh out of high school, and young and in the nightlife scene. And she kind of was doing her thing as an MC and really more of the music industry. And I was working actually with somebody with fashion. I had the THC Girls model those events, and we really just caught eyes on at events and supported each other. And then it authentically grew, and we've been grinding together ever since. So it's really been a blessing to meet each other in passing as we grew from this industry.
The ironic part is we did work at the same dispensary.
Okay.
The first dispensary I worked at in like 2008, but we didn't know. I was in the retail, she was in the cultivation. So it's kind of cool that it was kind of destined that we were going to cross paths. But she supported all of my aspirations and the SANJA GANJA show, which is under the umbrella of the highly connected app and the THC Girls. So I wouldn't be where I am without our team, for sure.
Yeah. Touch on that. How is it? Do you guys have any tips for when we're building a team, not specifically just to our cannabis industry, but just as a whole? I know you guys have a lot that you guys do on your app. I checked it out. It's really incredible what you guys have put together there. I myself need to get on there. I know you guys have a membership, but it seems like there's a network there that you guys can gain from. And then just being able to use an app to market ourselves. It doesn't seem like there's too much censorship, but you guys can tell me all about that. Yeah. Tell me how it's like building partnership in the industry or what to look for too.
Yeah, I mean, building partnership, that's something that we're consistently always doing, is looking for the right partner, because what we've done in the space, we've met a lot of people in the space, and not everyone's a good fit to collaborate with or on the same vibe, and I think that's what we really try to bring with the highly connected app is everybody's about the same vibe. You don't necessarily even need to be a consumer to participate in the app, just forward thinking and an open thinker, and we support the community, but we just support the emerging markets and innovation in general. So that's why we really strayed away from utilizing the THC Girls brand name again and rebranded the app as the highly connected app. So
we focus deeply on purpose with everything we do, every market we touch, every brand we touch, every product we develop. And furthermore, even for us to work together as a team, two females for a decade is unheard of in cannabis. But we do so quite easily, actually, because we have our number one goal is purpose. And, I live and breathe THC Girls as if I birthed it with her.
Right. Yeah.
But what I saw was she built this amazing brand before I met her. And she saw I built my podcast before I had met her. And we thought, oh my gosh, why don't we just do this like Power Stones? And it's worked out lovely because we always come back to our purpose, which is always educating about the plant and bringing community together. So we touch all industries, whether it's boxing, martial arts, fashion, music, rappers, we're real estate, everything, but we all have a common purpose to build community together. And we all usually are for cannabis.
Yeah, no, I
It
see you guys
definitely.
touch the different industries, and we'll touch on that. But go ahead, Krysta.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's definitely, I don't want to give the image that it's easy to have a partnership. We definitely work hard at it. And I think that that's with any partnership, you have to put work into it, whether it's a relationship of any kind of, partner, business partner. I think that that's what our team really does is we try to have clear communication and be clear in what we mean when we say it and just be understanding where we're coming from, and that way we can really grow together because it's not always easy.
Yeah.
It definitely is some work.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think I love that you touch on that. I think it's important that we understand that. I think as, for myself, I work by myself, I do my editing by myself, but I would always see like a dynamic like you guys and admire that because I know it's not easy. I come from a corporate background where I'm working like with, different employees and different personalities. And then also having a respect for management and understanding that there has to be a lead or there has to be like healthy business boundaries. And sometimes as women, I think we're very, we're emotional creatures. Um, and I was raised also by my dad. And I think one thing he taught me is when it comes to business, we got to really set that aside as women, those emotions. I think it helps us really collaborate as well with who aligns better with us. I think you touched on that. And it's something that you guys are big about. I see you guys working with so many different people, different industries. And I think that's going to be huge when it comes to breaking the stigma. You touch on different industries as far as musician, mixed martial arts. I think when we're bringing cannabis into that, it's always been part of their life, but it's not till like recently that they're actually like open to talk about it. And you guys are like the first to be there. So that's exciting for you guys. Miami, what's the weed looking like in Miami? I mean, I'm SoCal, always been SoCal. I honestly don't travel because I gotta smoke and I gotta have my weed. And I'm, definitely afraid of traveling with weed or getting in trouble. And now that I'm a mom, it's like, no, don't bring shit because you'll be the one that fucking gets in trouble. So tell us how
you'll be the example.
like. Right. Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to be that, especially when we're trying to be like educators in the space.
Exactly. Yeah, we follow all the rules, being that we're role models in the industry. We are business owners. We do try to practice. We do practice following the rules because we also want to help change them when the time comes. So being networking with lobbyists and lawyers is another one of our wonderful, wonderful meals within our appetite to help prolong the education. And Miami. Week in Miami looks like networking events for us, the gym, the beach. I'm new to Miami completely. She's been trying to get me out.
You've been in Colorado?
Yeah, I just moved here from Colorado. Yep, okay. Denver, Colorado. Krysta and I are constantly hired on as project managers, consultants. So we move where the trends are. And if you take a look at our history, you'll see we moved exactly where it was trending at the time. So Colorado, we were there for the beginning and the beginning of it all, first of all, and then the transition to recreational. Then we were, of course, we can talk about that more. We were recruited. Krysta recruited, then she recruited me to Oregon, which was amazing. And at that time, Portland was really new to the recreational space. The cultivation was blowing up. And we actually at that time built the largest cultivation in the state in 2018, I believe. 2019. And then from there, we've hopped around to Texas and we have lots of hemp friends there. We've got Cannabis University. That's our friend out there. So we definitely try to stay ahead. And then, of course, she got to Florida where she's always had the plan and said, get over here. So now I'm finally here to, plant some seeds, as I like to say.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fun to see all the different places. And I could really see that Florida was about to boom. I think that being able to go to Oregon when we did, being able to transition to Texas for a bit, and just as we continue to see the trends and be able to work with everybody in the space inside and out, we understand the trends of the industry, really of the world, and how it's operating a little bit differently. So moving here was definitely a part of the plan. We do tap into real estate a little bit. And as far as, the big boom in Denver and being a part of the big boom in Florida has been a part of the strategy. And as we continue to, we work with investors, acquisitions, big projects, but we also have projects of our own that go on. So, we're definitely planting seeds and learning from the best always.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, I'm a big believer in like personal development. And personally, I don't scroll so much, but when I do, most of my feed is filled with people that I admire, like those short clips where it's motivational. A lot of the time, the same people that like it are you guys. I see. I see the same grind and, I respect it very much where you guys, putting it out there. And it seems like you guys are touching all different areas. Do you guys have anything that you guys do to motivate yourself to keep you guys, just moving forward? I know that there's some bad days out there, especially being in the cannabis industry. Everybody wonders why some people are still in it. People are, just bouncing. I think you truly loved it and it's always been part of your life. You're just going to be pushing forward. Is there anything that you guys have that you want to, give our audience tips on how you guys keep moving and keep that, level head? Obviously staying high and elevated helps, but anything like even fitness, I believe having a fitness routine and a morning, having a very intentional morning. So you set your days, like either a to-do list, something's got to get your being in a mindset where you got to get these tasks done today in whatever time frame you have, because everybody's 24-hour period looks different. Anything on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we definitely go to the gym.
Yeah. I can tell you guys look very fit.
Yeah, we just got home from the gym not too long ago.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
but yeah, we go to this boxing gym. So, we train and work out together. I think that it's very helpful in us having some team work together that's not business. I think that really helps us, work together as a team on and off the court. And I think that really sometimes when it's stressful, one of us has to not be, one of us has to keep the momentum up. So it helps to have that within your team that is understanding that it's not always where stuff needs to be, but we need to be where we need to be. And I think that we balance each other off like that. And not just us, but our close in-house team of the THC Girls. It really it's complementary because there's so many different battles inside and outside of work that it's, the support, the different, you get to share a different feeling, a different vibe, and it reflects in your personal life. So it's really, really helpful.
Yeah, and Krysta and I, we're like a yin and yang, right? We're two different people, but we work very well together. I'm a creative. I'm very goofy. I need inspiration and animation, and I need a joke here and there every other hour. So for me, and she's very disciplined, right? And so like, she's like, I need to go hit the bag for 20 minutes. All right, this morning it's like, okay, let's go another 5 minutes because I know you want to keep the gloves on. So
let's go ahead and let that out. Yeah.
So and I could like feel that on her, but for me, it's like, all right, dog, I need to go kiss a tree. I need to go to the beach and exfoliate with the sand. I need some time to like connect with the earth. So find, my advice would be find what it is within you that makes you, because I've always battled like, am I Sandra or am I Sanja Ganja? Well, I'm all of the above, and I can be all of the above. And what makes me happy is being Sanja Ganja and being myself when I want to be. And so allowing me to do that is working with my best friend and then going and kissing a tree every once in a while.
Yeah. And respecting one another's like, whatever floats your boat, I respect it. You do you. And then, when business comes to it, then obviously you guys got to find alignment within that. So yeah, no, I love that you guys do that. Now, let's touch back on the podcast. You guys have podcasts. Is it something that you guys are still doing? What do you guys talk on the podcast about?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So as Sanja Ganja, I have the Sanja Ganja show since about 2013, before podcast days, really. But and we also have the tea with THC. So we have two different shows. Okay. You can watch them on Connected TV, which is on Roku. You can watch us on YouTube. And of course, my podcast is available on YouTube and Spotify. But my show, the Sanja Ganja Show, is about talking about world trends and the world while we're high, literally.
Oh, nice.
I have a few different formulas where we play games like Truth or Dab. I usually vlog our lives because we have so much fun stuff going on. Yeah, and as you see, I always have fun slogans like things of that sort. So the main purpose is to change perspectives on potheads and, hopefully plant some seeds of knowledge and open your mind. It's definitely it's grown with me as I've grown up. You know, in the beginning, it was very goofy. We joked. I would, bring a lot of people on, and I would just get them as high as I could on my show. But I'm now in my mid-30s. My audience has also changed, and you know what really brings me joy, and what seems to be bringing my now audience joy is inquisitively discussing, the human psyche while high. So, I'll do film reviews, and we'll do conspiracy topics. I'm actually dropping an episode coming up here in November about the Mandela effect. Is it real? What do you think? And I'm going to really dive into some facts and what scientists are really discussing about the complexities of it. And hopefully I can speak correctly, because I'm going to be usually dabbing or smoking something of the sort during. So we'll have to definitely exchange and get you on my show too, for sure.
Oh yeah, I'd be nervous about some of those questions. I'm like, more like tinfoil hat. Are we inside? I don't mind. I've been told I'd be more tinfoil. Yeah. Yeah, no, that sounds fun. I love that women are out there using their voice and their platform. Like you said, you've been doing it since 2013, kind of probably with the Joe Rogan time.
Yeah,
before
definitely.
Everybody else started thinking like, hey, we probably should do this. With that said, I do believe in personal branding, and that being very much part of either you're going to launch a product. Do you guys believe how, actually, let's go back. How do you guys feel about personal branding, and what do you guys think would be the best way people can approach that when they don't have a product line, or maybe they're not, providing a service that's tangible? How do you think that plays for like consultants and stuff, especially if they don't have a cannabis background?
You answer this, but I've just got to say, I'm so glad that you asked this question, because in this industry, everyone wants to get in, which is great. I think everyone should get in, but everyone's building these brands that have absolutely no credibility behind them or any past connection to cannabis. And so once again, to our number one rule, where's your purpose? And then 2, you don't have a team, you don't have credibility. Okay, well, come support people like us, and then we'll hopefully back you if we also are with your purpose. And then it gives you something to work with as a catalyst to then launch it off, because so many times we just see a lot of empty brands out there. And I'm for everything, because first of all, we're here to fix it, right? But don't just get in because you think it's a cash cow. Don't just get in because you're bored and everyone else is doing it. If you're not really for the plant, if you're not really here for it, there are people who use it as a medicine. I had a stroke in my 20s, and weed saved my life. So yes, we do marketing and branding, but it's about the education as well. So I'm just really glad you asked that, because there's a lot of empty branding out there. So we have tons of tips on what you should do for your personal branding.
Yeah. You guys focus on branding and marketing. And I think if you don't come with a background in it, or you didn't take the time to study it, those two can easily be tangled and think of as one, and they're completely two different things. You guys want to touch on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think that, one of the biggest ways to just understand it is, people are very talented regardless, right? And a lot of people, even contractors is what I see it really, contractors have work after work after work because you can't find good contractors, right? And so the word of mouth spreads. But if you had a brand, then the intention would be there, right? And that's one of the biggest things is people are like, oh, I don't need a brand. I don't need to market myself. Well, you're not putting the intention behind your purpose to make things happen. You're really at the will of your audience. And if one day somebody says something about you, your brand is your reputation. And that's the easiest way to understand it is, what do people say about you? Yeah. Right? Behind closed doors, to your face, that's your brand, right? And that's your representation. People think it's just Nike, right? But what does Nike mean? Nike's the best, right? And that's why people wear it. So people don't understand the importance of that and just think that they have so much talent, but why don't people hire me? It's because you don't have a brand. No one knows you have talent. You're not being intentional. And that word of mouth only goes so far. And once you understand what you represent, you can market that to your audience and develop a community around your brand. So that's really the separation between those two is who are you and how are you going to pump that to your audience? And another thing that people get confused with is sales. They think marketing and branding is sales. And who you are and how you pump your audience creates a sale, right? And that's what the misunderstanding from a lot of people that come in here. They just want a sale. They just want money. They want this sale. You cannot make a sale. They're like, oh no, I do this and I do that and I got it like that. And I'm like, well, then you don't got it like that. Why are you asking me shit?
Right.
You know, it doesn't exist. Why do you go to Home Depot instead of going to whoever's little home, helper store that could, and they consistently are actively acting on a brand that they like and know and love and trust, but consistently don't understand that in order for people to target and feel that you have the credibility to purchase from you, you have to have a brand, so separating the branding of who you are, the marketing of how you distribute who you are to the world, and then that initiates a sale, right? And those are the things that people get confused. That is not having a product. Right?
Yeah.
It is building that culture to be sustainable so that you can stay around, and which is what we've become experts in.
And that's kind of full circle.
Right. No, I ask that question often because, I've been vocally in the space since 2019. And a lot of times I'm asked, how come you haven't launched like a pre-roll or any sort of product? And I'm happy doing what I'm doing. And to me, it's kind of like, reverse engineering, where I feel like I'm, when I'm doing my podcast, bringing people on here with a diverse background and having an open conversation about cannabis, about athletes using it, about professionals using it, and then putting it out to the world, hoping that that's going to reach somebody who may not be aware how cannabis works, educating, using my voice as a mom, as an athlete, and like a fitness enthusiast. To me, that is building my brand. You guys are getting to know who I am, what I stand for, what my morals and ethics are. No doubt, if I launch a brand, you guys know exactly who you guys are supporting. And I think a lot of times that gets mixed with emotions. That also gets mixed with clout, wanting to be seen real quick without putting the work, or having, to do the networking and go to the million events, or have, not even be exposed to, what you see on Instagram, all the million of fucking one-on-ones that you do, all the calls and Zooms, I'm sure you guys take meetings. I don't even know. Right? I'm gonna have to push that one back about 5 more minutes because, one call may go past another. You guys experiencing a lot of that, I imagine.
Oh my goodness. At this point in time, if you're not on the app, I'm not available for a phone call because I can't take you serious. You're trying to really absorb my talent and our energy without taking the steps. So now if you join the network, you meet with us group monthly in a group setting. And I say it's like a gym membership. The more you put in, the more you receive. And that's the way that we really try to solidify our time, because it just gets taken from us, and so, and with people that are trying to constantly find out what is the marketing and branding, what do you do and how are you doing it, and so we're definitely experiencing that all the time.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of women feel that way in the space, that, that you're in the cannabis space. So you get the DMs a lot more, they're more open. The guys are going to be more open to reaching out to the women in the space than another guy in the space, just because that's just how it works. But do you have any tips on that? Because a lot of women say that they see more men in the space and they would like to see more women. But to be honest, I get a lot of support from the homies, and there's good dudes out there. And to say, that, they're not out there to support, I think that that's a, disadvantage to some of the guys out there that do completely support women as best as they can. Seeing any of that? I mean, I'm in SoCal, so I mean, obviously it's
I would love for the cannabis community to get rid of these gender roles, because the truth is, if you look at the percentages, women are killing it. We've been killing it in the industry, and this whole myth that we're not around is just kind of weird. It's a fable. We are around. We've been around for a very long time. There's a lot of us, and there's a lot of women that are in CEO positions, and obviously there's lots of diversity and woke checks that you have to get now, and tons of things. And so when I hear that, I kind of just roll my eyes a little bit, and I just wonder where your focus is, and if you want to utilize that for your agenda, because the truth is, it's all. It's all 50-50. We get women that don't support us. We get men that don't support us. We get talked to like we're little girls. I get asked on dates constantly. Every single day. No, you
Great job, kiddo.
I want you to buy our services that, you know, and you know, then we can talk about that. So, you know, the frustration is real amongst the community, but at this point, it doesn't really bother me. I'm just kind of like, this is business. This is business until we get rid of this gender crap, and start focusing on your credentials. I just want to know what you have done and why you think you can tell me that you don't need my branding, but you want to call me for an hour. So, you know, I think that's my super intense, you know, stance on it, because we have been doing this since 2008 and we've watched it all. There was some years where it was like girl on girl, we didn't support each other at all for whatever weird reason. It was weird.
Mean girl shit. Yeah.
Yeah, the mean girl stuff. And even now, unfortunately, it still can be like that. Most people see us as competition, and we never see you as competition. It's always this, let's build something together. There's always something that we can work together on, and support one another. So that's our main focus, rather than, you know, focusing on, hey, this is going to be bad. These guys aren't going to, you know, they're not going to listen to us or whatever. But there is a social addendum of people that you should pay attention to, and the body language and how they speak to you and the respect that they give you. Because yes, you do have to come at some people a little different. You know, there are some men in suits when we go have dinner that maybe I need to dress a little different, and you know, I'm going to wear a button up myself, and I'm not
play your role for sure.
And we're going to get right to business. I'm not going to have anything but one drink, and we're going to be a little bit more bull with the horns today. But, you know, and then there's sometimes where you don't have to do that at all. You know, sometimes it's just wonderful. The relationship works. And that goes back to, you know, who you want to partner with and who you want to build a brand with, and does it fit your culture? So, you know, it really just depends. We flow with everyone. I mean, we even work with politicians on all sides, you know, because we believe in change through community, and we have all the community anyone ever needs.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are pro cannabis on a lot of levels, and so you got to use it to your advantage. I think you hit on a lot of good points, and I'm glad you said a lot of those things. It's huge. I think, you know, respect and energy and just understanding people's human behavior. And again, it's a game. It's a business game. It's business, like you said. At the end of the day, it's business. There's, you know, and cash flow line there. Branding's there, marketing's there. So if you got to put in that button up and you got to speak a certain way to, you know, talk to that person, then, you know, you got to do that. And I did it in banking. I have, you know, 20 years of corporate banking. And so obviously when we're talking about private equity lending, I'm talking to different old men, young men, you know, women, all different countries, culture backgrounds when it comes to their business and their ethnic backgrounds. And none of this comes in play. It is numbers, and equity, and definitely reputation. So branding at the end of the day, and then marketing will come in place. So then you figure out your salespeople. So I think even when you have, you know, when I see certain brands out there that I love, and then they have, you know, certain brand ambassadors or influencers out there, maybe getting a little too tossed, I'm like, ooh, I wish they knew, you know, it's not my business to say nothing, but those are things I observe, and it makes me like, okay, note taken. When I have a brand, it's equally as important how I represent myself, that everybody that is representing my brand walks around with the same like alignment and energy, that nobody's walking around talking shit on anybody. You know, I'm not about the drama. It's if we're going to do business, it's just in a healthy way. And I think that benefits everybody in the long run. And I see that a lot from you guys.
Yeah, no, that's our one main focus. I mean, we know a lot of people and we know a lot of things. So we like to just stay focused and mind our business and stay, you know, focused on the goal. And that definitely has to take place, or else it can get chaotic.
Yeah. And I love what you said about if you're not on the app, we don't have time for you right now. And I respect that. So make sure you guys get on the highly connected app. I will be making sure I do that. And we connect all the links on here to make sure we know how to support that. Or is there anything we need to know about what you guys got going on? I know you guys support a lot of events. Anything you guys got popping before MJ BizCon?
Yeah, we're doing a lot. We'll definitely both be there at MJ BizCon. We'll be attending all the events, doing all the things.
A lot.
But prior to that, we actually have the Smoke Currency tour coming up. So we'll be working with Thunder Walker and doing a tour around 20 different states about, and really just, again, touching all the things that we just touched on, and within cannabis education to fun to getting content and really sharing what's going on in each city and state, because every market is different. So we have actually Detroit. I head out tomorrow for Detroit. I'll be out there through the weekend. Yeah, so I get to see the city out there. I've never been. Yeah, it's get to smoke and consume and, do all those good things. Meanwhile, educating, there's Canna Mom's event that Thunder is doing, podcast that we'll be on. And so, again, just focusing on that organic and authentic growth through every state. Really what she calls it is like a green thread. So we can really work as a team, and it doesn't matter what color, what this, what that, everyone just, understanding the forward motion that we're all trying to take. So that's what we're doing with the Smoke Currency tour. And we'll be in Michigan this weekend. We'll be in Jersey in about 2 weeks. Oh. And then we'll be ending up in Vegas. So, definitely looking forward to that. We have Art Basel coming up. And definitely, we're going to be popping in and out of events over this next year as we're dropping actually a 2.0 version of the Highly Connected app. Oh, wow. And yeah, it's going to be really cool, because we really are empowering people to increase their sales, leverage our network, and make money with us. So we really want to, tighten up our circle. It's more of a close-knit group instead of just for everybody. And so we're looking forward to launching the second version of that. And yeah.
We'll be recording so much content the whole entire time.
Oh, man.
With Underwalker. When I can pop in, I'll definitely be popping in. We'll also be at Skateboard quite a bit, which is here in Miami. So I'm really stoked because I'm trying to do all kinds of really fun stuff on my show, like learn to skateboard again. I applied for the WWE. So I've got that going on, which is why you see me in the gym with her. So basically, SANJA GANJA is SANJA GANJA is acting out the rest of the year, trying to get everyone. So far, when we call people out, no one has stepped up, but
they don't want none. They don't want
none of them. But yeah, so I'll just be, my lovely goofy self alongside Krysta as we work with our clients, and I'm just going to be trying to grab all the attention in every state we're in.
Nice. I love that. I have to make sure we follow that.
Definitely.
I gotta see the WWE match. That will be an event for sure.
One thing too, Sandra mentioned a little bit, but we haven't announced it yet, but by the time this is out, it will be announced, will be set up. So we'll have the Highly Connected corner at Skateboard right here in Miami. So basically, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're just anyone want to come and connect with us, network with us, catch a vibe, there's a pizza shop, coffee, food truck in the front, skate park. It's awesome. A good place to chill and network. So we'll be actually setting up there for the Highly Connected corner here soon.
Come to Miami and come get on an interview on the SANJA GANJA show and the TV.
That would be epic.
So excited.
Yes.
We've been eyeing Florida actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, a couple of my girlfriends have moved over there. They're like in this tropic area. They want to raise their kids more in that type of area.
Right.
And they're more homestead, and I'm homesteads too. My kids, go to like a little 3-hour thing, and then they're with me all fucking day long. So there's shit like this. But yeah, that's exciting. You guys are always doing a lot, and I have to, constantly say I respect that. And again, for my audience out there, if you don't have kids, take advantage of traveling. It's one thing that I think is something different that I can't always do, which allows me, thank God for YouTube, to do shit like this. Yeah, I can't wait to, get to the season of my life to where I can travel and see all the different dispensaries and things like that. Meet people that I've worked with virtually and be in person with them. So, I know California is kind of quiet right now for events. Hopefully, one day we get to meet in person, or maybe at MJ BizCon. Are you guys planning to hit any specific events for that week?
We probably will
can network with you.
Yeah, right. I mean, we'll definitely probably attend like Sensi Night, Grassland, stuff like that. We are working a couple of events out there as well. So
okay.
Nutraceuticals.
We're
working with him and their team, Harold James. Shout out to Harold. He hooked us up. And we'll do some private matching events where we'll have the THC girls rolling up, doing their thing and giving out whatever samples or clothing and merchandise, whatever the brand desires to do. So
I guess we can tell you also that finally, after much waited ado, the world can finally hire to hang out with Krysta and SANJA GANJA. We are launching that at the end of this year too. So by the time this goes out, that will also be a thing. I mean, we obviously will do some consulting. We'll be able to talk some business, but it'll be a lot more fun. Obviously, we'll show you around town. So we are offering this wonderful, extravagant expedition with us.
It's like the MZ bus ride or whatever bus ride it goes around Hollywood.
Yep, basically.
We'll probably do a lot of those in Vegas as well. Just being able to set up meetings and whatnot, just to mingle and network and see who's next on the roster for us building their brand.
Nice. How exciting. You guys are going to be there all the 4 days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when does it start? The 28th?
5 days.
It starts Wednesday.
28th to the 2nd is when we'll be out there.
Okay.
And we might even be out there the 27th, depending. Noonie has the blood, sweat, and tears for Crohn's disease on that Monday. So we're definitely trying to. Yeah, shout out to Noonie. We're trying to support her, get out there for that. But we'll definitely be there that week. So that way we can try to support everyone's events, participate, be there. We'll definitely be with our content team, gathering some content for marketing and branding and stuff like that. So anybody out there would love to connect.
Mm-hmm. Great. Well, I hope that everybody makes sure you guys get out there and you guys have an opportunity to meet with Krysta and SANJA. You guys have an amazing energy. You guys bring a lot of fun energy at the same time, have a very hustler personality about you that I really, really enjoy. So, and it's authentic. So I can't really dog that in any way because that's what I vibe with at the most level. You guys keep it as real as hell. And I love that. So thank you for sharing all of those tips. I think a lot of people could learn from that and find value in today's conversation. I know I did. And again, I want to make sure that everybody checks out the Highly Connected app. If you guys want to learn more how to elevate yourselves as, just your personal brand, they are there to serve you guys. All right. Is there any last words before we get into our rapid fire 7 grams?
Ooh.
No, I mean, thank you for having us. Always appreciate it. Looking forward to meeting you too. So
yeah, can't wait. We appreciate everybody vibing out with us. Make sure you guys go check out my show. I'll be adding you to my playlist for when we work out. And when I go run. So I love your voice. It's perfect when I'm running.
Again, I appreciate your guys' energy and everything you guys do in this space. I love everything you guys taught us today. Let's get into it. You guys ready? I'm gonna smoke up real quick, or at least get my rig ready. You guys, what are you guys puffing on?
Just pens.
Pens. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't even ask. You guys are more, I'm going to get into that anyways in rapid fire, but what are you guys, flower people?
I'm a dabber.
I smoke it all.
Who's the dabber?
I love it all.
Sanja's the dabber. Yeah.
I do all the dabs.
You know what? Yeah. Since baby 2, I cannot it just hits better. It lasts longer. It hits in the right spots.
All the technology for dabs now. It's nuts. But I've been doing dabs before they were called dabs, but
the whole fucking torch.
I still use my torch. I'm old school.
What about the spoon back in the day? You're like looking like
you take it way back.
What the hell? My friends would be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Try this shit."
And I'd be the friend like, "Okay."
You hit it. You're like,
yeah.
I love it.
I love it. For real. That slapped. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've lit my fucking curtains on fire in my kitchen, fucking making my wax like the old school way. I mean, I still got homies that press on an iron and they will not. Yeah, they will not go to the shops. They're like, why? Fuck that. I'm like, all right, dog, whatever, dude. Do your thing.
When I was in the grow, I used to be in the grow and I would get such, like, if it was dry trim or like keef and stuff or scissor hash and shit, I'll put it in I'll just put it in a bag in my pocket, sit down on it while I'm chilling, and I will be home.
Warmest area.
Boom! That shit was pressed.
Don't give me ideas, Krysta.
Yeah. That shit's good.
Damn.
I mean, that
That's
means
a
it was
great.
Tell you.
Yeah, if it was a like water hat, like scissors hash, my friend would just press it in the iron, back in the day when people started figuring it out.
Yeah.
Straightners are like, you get like this much. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, those were the good old days. All right, cool. Let's do this. What's your favorite way to consume?
Like a good blunt.
Oh, I do. I can't turn those down.
You just give me a bong with a banger, dabs, and a torch. I'm good. I don't need no fancy tools. That's all I need.
I know, like these hot knives. Do you like the hot knives? I feel
I do like the hot knives. Right? I do it. The hot knives and the proxy are very cool. I will say they're convenient. These Florida folks are really putting me on. But
they're fancy out here.
I was going to say, are they more on the fancy end?
They're more on the scientific fancy side. They will
higher market.
Right. Yeah, and like statistically, people on average spend anywhere, the most maximum I've seen spent in a dispensary is definitely like a good like 3,400 in one capacity. And that included wax, rosin, all kinds of different types of rosin, flour, and also like tools, the proxy, the DAP, the hot. I mean, I can't get down with spending all that money, even if I have it to my exposure. But I think that's maybe just like business owner stuff. It's like I got other things to invest in.
Yeah, no,
I don't need that.
These were
yeah.
You want to
sponsor my show?
Send them 100%. Yep, you sponsor her show, sponsor our show, support women. Send it to us.
I'll have that bad boy all day.
Exactly. All right. Bad experiences with weed.
I have honestly. One time I ate this. My friend gave me this little caramel. I was like this big. It was edibles would get me. Like I'm not really an edible person. I'll smoke all day. But I ate that edible and I didn't have anything to smoke. And I was like, an hour went by and I was like getting kind of weird. My mouth got dry and I forgot that I took it. And I was like, I gotta lay down. All right, I need some pizza. All right, I'm going back to sleep. Like I was freaking out.
The normal routine. Yeah. You get too high. Okay, let me eat something because then I could it just revamps you back up. Or let me lay down. Let me take a couple breaths. Like edibles are a whole different game.
I was a GM of a dispensary, and it was very irresponsible of me to eat this edible. And my eyes were not even.
Was it like a sample from like a?
Yeah, that was the hardest part. Hardest part about being brave enough to become like a consultant and leave the dispensary world was not getting everything at cost, or all the free weed and everything, and especially being the manager. Of course, I share my bartenders, but. That was crazy. I definitely had a sample and I wasn't feeling good. This was around the time I had a stroke and, my lupus was really acting up. So I thought I need an edible or else I'm not going to get through this day. I literally was like tripping and my eyes were not open. I was yawning like nonstop. I could not stop yawning. I mean, there was a point I think I was standing and sleeping. It was pretty bad. And I was the only one. That dispensary was like my entire world, my entire responsibility. So I was the only person who could be there. There was rules and whatnot. So how did you got to do? I don't remember how. Oh, CBD.
Oh yeah, CBD.
I took some CBD.
Right.
And I drank an energy drink, and I got normal.
Oof. Right back to it.
That's what it was.
Right back to it. Just need a little bump. A good bump, I should say.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Family,
Okay.
we're like, what?
We're not talking about that today on the show. But
just put something funny on and laugh it out. I always, whenever I'm like too high, if I laugh, like, and I laugh a good laugh where I can't breathe, then I always feel so much better.
yeah, that's actually a good idea. I'm gonna try that next time. All right. Let's see. Number 3. If there was an animal that you can be, which one would it be?
Oh, easy, gorilla.
Oh,
I love me some King Kong, baby.
I love gorillas.
Like I like owls. I like owls and white tigers. Those my things.
Yep.
I should know that. That's what's
And
on
so,
your
yeah.
neck, right? Yeah. I
Yeah,
love
and-
owls.
Yeah, and I have gorilla. She has an owl, and we do put this like imagery a lot in our branding. You know, like we always say, like, "Hey, fellow beast" and whatnot, and you know, it's definitely a thing. And she actually has a bunch of new stuff dropping. Krysta Jones does for sure. So you'll be seeing the owl a lot more too.
Ooh, I love owls. Not just because of Drake. I've always just loved owls. And I moved to this certain place and I would see these little like they're called barn owls, I guess. They're like these little ones and they'd be everywhere. And I'd always run into owls. It's fucking crazy. And people are like, that's so weird. You see owls all the time? I'm like, yeah. And I just have an infatuation with them now. Everybody gives me like these owl cups, owl statues.
Oh, cool.
I'm gonna be like that old lady that has all these little owl like figures everywhere. I'm like, oh yeah, owls.
Why are you talking about me like that?
Like their spiritual animal, like if you read into that, they have a very strong personality and they, you know, really look into deceit from they're into wisdom. That's what I think I get from the owls.
That's exactly. Everyone asked me why I got my tattoo, and it's when I felt like I was confident enough to really get it. Obviously, right? That's a big step. You can't go work at a regular corporate job. You know, I had been in the cannabis space for over a decade at the time, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna, regardless of this industry, I'm just gonna do me, and this is me. So I got it. Yeah.
Love it.
Okay, cool. How about you? Oh, you said gorilla, right?
Yeah, definitely a gorilla for sure. Beast. I always am containing this beast inside, and luckily it comes out like a wonderful, positive, friendly giant. But there's, you know,
if you know how to, you know, Tim Grover talks about it's okay to have a monster as long as you know how to control it, you know, and I think as women, it's important that we know how to use it. So
100%.
Love those. All right. What's the pump up song? Either for gym, whether you're going to get on a call that's making you nervous, if you're going to get on stage.
All Drake. Oh yeah.
All Drake?
Well, Drake's my shit.
Early
Drake.
When he was like so determined to get it, he didn't even have to do fake Spanglish. You know what I mean? So
yeah, with those. Yeah.
We love you, Drake. We love you.
He's diverse now. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You hear him all the time, man. No, I love
it.
So what was it?
Well, I just listen to any Drake. Any
Drake will pump you up. Even
back
like
in the day,
pound cake.
Yeah.
Something slow.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like he follows me, you know, like I swear, like when I went to Portland, he dropped a Portland song.
Yeah.
I got him. It's the owl thing. It's you know, it's like we're in sync. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been to 2 of his concerts. My husband loves Drake. When I met him, he just turned me all on to Drake. And so at one point, it was just like that was the album I listened to at the gym all fucking like year long. When we look back at like our dating time, it was like always a Drake concert. Until now, we're like, we gotta get back. He throws the sickest concerts, like not just his performance, like the theatricals that they do. All right, and for you, ma'am.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go with something like Chop Suey. Love
them. I saw them too. Fucking System of the Down.
Need some System of the Down. Some like. Well, the other day we did Limp Bizkit in the wheel. Like
he's got some good ones. That's our time.
We're good girls, and we'll come home at like 9-10 p.m. and we're like, all right, but we're still like, I still want to have fun, so we'll like shadow box in the living room, put some Limp Bizkit on, go hard. And my God, those are like classics now. I saw they're like dressing up as early 2000s as eras in high schools. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
I'm there. Yeah. I'm that mom. Yeah. I'm not cool.
It's like classic rock now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what song though we jammed actually the other day is that Quavo song.
Oh, definitely.
Turn your click up.
Turn your click up is one we do when we have a team together always.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That one gets us hype.
Yeah.
We actually have a song for like each specific city we've lived in and traveled to.
Nice.
Like Crew for California.
Yeah. Crew was Portland.
No.
That song.
And then Drake, Portland.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
You're right. Yeah, no, and definitely. Now up next, we're trying to get Bad Bunny's attention. So you know, like that.
I was gonna ask, so you guys like Bad Bunny?
We like, yeah, you know, like her fiance has been trying to learn Spanish, and I had no clue that I like could understand it. So I'm like trying over here. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'll be talking to her, and she's all, "See," I'm like, what did you just say?
Someone comes to us, and I'm like, I don't understand. Actually, I didn't understand. Wait, hold on 1 second. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
you learn very quickly out here in Miami.
I was gonna say, right? You're gonna have to like pick up more. Exactly. It's got an accent now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my in-law, my sister-in-law and her sister-in-law, they got Bad Bunny tattoos. They go all Bad Bunny concerts.
Wow.
Yeah, they're all into the reggaeton type of vibes. So, you know, they keep that shit going. They love
it's
Bad
good
Bunny.
energy. It's fun.
Oh, I love reggaeton.
Like,
yeah.
You don't even gotta understand it.
I did not.
Exactly.
I did not. I was R&B, reggae, you know, rap, rock, and moved here. She was like, "You're gonna like."
Oh my God!
You can't not help move your body. Like there's something.
You're like you can't help it.
Yep.
We moved. She moved.
If it's in you, it's in you.
She helped move me across country, and like the whole time we were in Florida, she played me a whole list.
I was like, you gotta know DJ Laz. You don't know who DJ Laz is? Like, that's Miami. You Pitbull? You don't know?
Right? Throw me some Q-Tip, throw me some Nas. I got you all day. But
Fugees.
I don't know anything. Yeah, but now I'm hip to it. I love it.
Now she knows Lil Zane.
I know it all.
Okay.
112. You know.
Oh my God, no, that I already know 112. Of course.
That's all Miami. That's all Miami. That's all Miami.
But that is true. What I didn't know that was Miami. I had no clue.
Me either.
I don't think about it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. That's
Pitbull.
That's our time for sure.
No, for sure. But now she drives. Now she drives down 95 South in Palmettos. You know,
so she understands. You know. Yeah, it's crazy.
They're all here.
Oh my God! How long have you been there now?
Since April, so
okay,
half the year for sure.
We're acclimated now,
settled in. I moved in on the beach, and I could not be more like stoked for sure. So
yeah,
that's nice. Just going out every morning. You know, I went to the beach, and I was running, and I forgot that the sun rises at like 7. It was just dark, so I just didn't think about go watch the sunrise. I was just running, doing my thing. Yeah. I go wash off, get in the water, and I'm like sweating. Get out, and I just sit there and meditate for a second. All of a sudden, the sun pops up. I was like, oh my! I was freaking out on the beach. Everyone's looking at me like, what is wrong with you? I was like, I'm so high. I just didn't think about the sunrise, you guys. Like, look at this.
Great. Yeah. Didn't even expect it.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, let's do this. All right, if there's one book that you guys have read, which book would it be that you can, if you were to give it to somebody, or if you can give it to the world, which book would it be?
I would say Relentless is by Tim Grover. Yeah, I really like that. I played sports. I love you know, Jordan, Kobe, all the people that he's got to work with one-on-one, and I really resonate with that mindset. So that's my top. I'll read. I like to listen to books, so I listen to it a lot.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I talk about these books all the time. I have 2 books. 1984 and Frankenstein. Both of those books, I think, will transform someone's life, no matter where they are in their life. 1984 talks about the dystopian future that we could have if we let technology and the government take over, which is clearly happening every day. But so I love that. It also has like some seriously deep like conversations about love and the human soul. So love that. And it's taught me a lot about being emotionally intelligent. And then Frankenstein is actually, yeah, it's really scary actually, but in the end, if you look at it, it does have an overall thesis that, you know, same thing. We're all monsters inside, but how are you going to tame that beast, and what are you going to do with it to make a purpose in this life?
Love that. I haven't even thought about Frankenstein, so thank you. I'll be adding that to my list.
Good one.
All right, list 3 things that make you guys happy.
My dogs, my family, cannabis, for sure. All that makes me happy.
Nice and easy.
I definitely, I mean, I love being active. Being active really makes me happy, obviously. You know, and being around the people that I care about really makes me happy, and making money really makes me happy. You know, I'm not a type of person that is money driven, but it's a fun game to me, and it's like life's a game, you know, and just consistently trying to perfect it. And money is the way you can kind of, you know, money and success and just everything in full, just seeing how that kind of reflects in your life. You know, I think it's important.
Yeah. I think Rick Ross touches on that. Money's okay to it's okay to want that money. At the end of the day, that's the world, you know, is how the world works. So you got to play that game. All right. I love those answers. Those are some answers I haven't heard before, so I really enjoyed those. What's something you've learned recently about the marijuana industry that our audience can learn from? Or maybe something that you were like, oh shit, what the heck?
Oh, you know, that's kind of easy for me. I recently started working at a dispensary out here, so I could like touch patients again and understand what the regulations are out here. It had working with her for the last decade. I haven't worked physically in a dispensary in a long time. So I thought, you don't get rusty, right? You hop back in, it's like, what's up? So I'm having a blast, but like I was saying earlier, you know, the staff has really educated me. I love the staff, they're amazing there. But the bud tenders there are really into their weed. Like they will buy the most expensive stuff, the most coolest new trinket tool, and SANJA GANJA, come try this. And I'm like, oh my god, I freaking love these. So I will say that moving to the East Coast industry, I am a little shocked at how passionate they are about the technology. I'm not mad about it, but West Coast, how we grew up in the industry, it was very much focused on the medicinal part of it and saving lives. The whole slogan forever and ever was saving lives, and now you really don't even hear that anymore. Cannabis saves lives. No one even talks about it really. Right. And here I got arrested for it years ago for bringing CBD and THC to kids in Children's Hospital, things of that sort. So now to be in Florida, where they really don't talk about the medicinal stuff as much as I have seen in the past, but what I've learned is it's not negative. It's okay. Because guess what? You're still getting high. So it's okay.
All good. All good. Well, hopefully they're, you know, as much as they're like intrigued and fascinated by the herb, hopefully they're getting good herb, first of all. And yes. I'm sure you can tell them if, you know, if it's just a brand that just got really good marketing or if they're really producing good product. Because to me, honestly, I've been smoking weed for a really long time, like on a daily basis. I've grown my own weed. I've had the chance to have sun grown, you know, living soil right now is my jam. I'm in California. That's the best thing I can get, closest to sun grown. The greenhouse brands, those are fucking great. So hopefully they're not just like fascinated with that, because, you know, a lot of times they may be young, be getting pulled at the bud tender level, you know what I mean, and excited to be in the industry. Is kind of like what I've observed, just because I'm a fucking weekly goer, and I interact with them, and that's what I'm noticing. And they don't know too much about the like behind story of every brand, and they're kind of almost pushing the ones that have the best marketing.
Like kind of you know, yeah, it's about the branding. You know, they think that they're supporting the culture of the community in certain ways. So
Starry eyes.
Yeah. Recently, Jungle Boys cookies just penetrated the Florida market. Planet 13 will be coming out here soon. You know,
You have to be vertically integrated though here. So
yes.
Okay.
Whatever where you work, that it's all the same product from that place.
Cultivate, you manufacture, you distribute, and then you retail as well, all in one license. So it makes it a very difficult place to get into Florida. In the Florida market, you have to be very well, funded. You also have to jump through some hoops and some hurdles to get qualified for licensing. There's only 16 or so licenses out right now. They're launching another batch of them, but it's a very crazy world out here.
Yeah.
And there's two different worlds really that exist. It's really the legacy, world, and the the corporate world. Yeah. And until those really, you're being from the West Coast and coming to the East Coast, we get to see a lot, and understanding that interstate commerce or federal legalization will take place soon because there's tons of money being left on the table that people want to absorb. So regardless of what everyone feels like and their emotions, right? There's money to be made. So that is coming whether people like it or not. And as I've actually been able to travel recently, that's really why I'm super excited to go on the tour, is because every state is so different. I went to DC recently, and it's like kind of like 15 years ago in Colorado, where people are, the dispensaries are very loose, right? There's caregiverships, there's a weird way of operating. And until those rules come into place, it's so open that everyone thinks that they could do whatever they want. And until those rules come into place, and especially like in California, you understand, I'm sure, those taxes, those fees, all the things that you have to do, and then everybody charging you extra because you're cannabis and they think that there's a bunch of money in it, it really makes it hard for you to operate. So going into newer markets is something that we're really heavily focused on with this tour as well, so that we can really educate, before all those things happen, so that there are less hurdles for these operators to succeed. Also really seeing what kind of production is going on, and also just seeing the brands that are in multiple states is really interesting as well. Like I said, Cookies and Jungle Boys just came here, and I was telling one of my friends about Jungle Boys, and I was like, you don't know who that is? And they're like, no. I was like, you don't know who that is? And they're like heady, like they love, and they had no idea who Jungle Boys is, and I thought that was super interesting for sure.
Yeah. That's why I feel like having podcasts, having people like you and myself talk about this, there's a different reach, and there's work to be done and education to be done on so many different levels. Like you said, that person didn't know Jungle Boys. It's almost like if you're not in the cannabis industry or studying it, you're not really going to know. If you got your head somewhere in like compliance or like, and like somewhere not in the industry or even care to go that way, you're not going to know who the players are. You're not going to understand the dynamic of where, you need to, when you need to pivot, how you need to pivot. I feel like the market itself, it's already, a very rocky market. Then we're in the cannabis industry, and you really got to watch out like where to go. And I think you guys are doing a good job at that.
What I see that's really new is a lot of money on the East Coast. There's a lot of ancillary companies. There's a lot of ideas and money getting pumped into these ancillary companies that aren't really focusing on brand and community. And just like you said, and I think that's one of the things we focus on is our community. And if we were to make a product, we get asked that question all the time too. Why don't you have a product? Well, when the time is right, we will plug into how we feel, we can. And that's, I think, what's happened. It's throwing off the industry a bit, I want to say. There's a lot of the same kind of companies that are emerging on the East Coast that are useful, but they emerge and then they're so spread thin, they don't have any community and connections, and then they're scared to put the money in. And so now we have all this competition springing up. And again, that's why brand matters, right? Because who the hell is that guy to say that they know to do X, Y, and Z in the event space or in this kind of sector, when you don't even have an audience, and then you jump into the industry and asking everyone to do these things for you. I see a lot of that happening on the East Coast, where on the West Coast, it's totally different. A lot of people have that culture in the community. It's them looking for somebody that can help solidify their operation and really create their systems. So I think that's something that is coming up new from the open interest in the East Coast. because everybody's a lot more business savvy, tech savvy,
Right.
and has the newest bestest thing. So I think that's what's happening, and it's very interesting to see, you know.
Those are good ones. Yeah. Yeah, I imagine they always say we hope that the East Coast learns from the things that the West Coast did not do well, and hopefully elevate the community from there, and the people that are in the industry come in with intention and purpose. Obviously everybody's got to make money, and I think there's room for everybody. So that's the other thing people need to keep in mind. And collaborations, I think that's an incredible way to enhance one another's brand. If you focus on people that are doing very well, like Tim Grover, they collaborate with one another and they do it flawlessly, may be different. Obviously, don't like copy all the way, get creative in some way, but push it out there and don't be afraid to do it. But I think that's important that you guys touched on that. So love those answers. Hate everybody tuning in, but I think they're going to get some good tips from this and value. You guys were exceptional on here. I've always been a fan of you guys. You speak very well on the other podcasts that you're on. Normally put all the links on here so that they can follow you, hopefully not stalk you, but follow you on all the social platforms and support you and everything that you guys got going on. And then also watch the journey and just, hopefully we all grow together from here.
Definitely. Thanks again for having us.
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great day in Miami, and we will stay in touch. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 30. You guys have a good one. Peace.